I can't even tell.
So Everett, David Lynch calls you up and says, you're doing this Twin Peaks revival. What's the first thing that went through your head?
I'm excited to be part of it, obviously.
Here we go again. Oddly enough, you won't believe this, but with the first time we talked, it had been 20 years. I hadn't been in touch with him in 20 years. And he called me at a telephone number that has not been used. I mean, the phone still exists, but my mother-in-law's house has been empty for 7 or 8 years. I was down there checking on something. The phone rang there. I don't know how he got that number. But we talked for about an hour and a half. We didn't mention Twin Peaks at all. The last thing he said to me, he said, hey man, because I told him, I said, this number, chances of you reaching me at this number are 1 in a million. He'd sent out a Twitter tweet to try and find me because I wasn't able to locate me. Somebody gave me this number. He said, well, is there, in case I need to be in touch with you, do you have a better number? So I was probably six months after that. He called me and said, we're going to get the whole band back together. And I said, what? We're all going to be gummy and blind and deaf and walking with canes and walkers. He said, no, everybody's in great shape. Everybody was.
Why do you think the show has had such a staying power and continues to find new fans?
The legendary aspect of it, I think, goes to why rock stars that die young, James Dean and dies young. I think it creates this kind of mythical, larger than life thing, and that attracts a lot of people. And when they take a look at it, they go, wow, there was some great stuff there. There's some really unusual people and bold and original ideas, and the images are so strong and so moving and deep and startling at the same time.
I love you both.
It's fascinating, man. It's like watching a snake eat a rat. You can't take your eyes off it.
Yeah. Working with David Lynch, what's that collaboration like?
What's it like?
Yes.
Well, I think he's probably the smoothest director for creating an environment to get the kind of performances that he's looking for. And he tries unusual things. I remember there was one time I was having a little bit of difficulty making an exit from the scene. I was dragging my feet, the scene was dragging. And he says, listen, he calls me Big E. Since we did Dune, he called me Big E. He said, listen, just imagine you got a piece of rock in your eye and it's burning like hell and you want to get the hell out of this scene rather than stand there and tears running down your eyes. And he created this image. I said, wow, man, if I just think of that idea, and the scene went like that, I was out of there. So that's hard to get in a director, to create this kind of, sometimes the director will try and show you how to do a scene, or they'll try to act it for you. But David can find those things in you, stimulate you to go beyond yourself, dig deeper than you ever thought you could reach emotions you never thought you could reach. And he does it all with a sweetness and a humility and a humor. Wonderful experience.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to it.